story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity. That a survivor? No, man. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Starts to feel his bruises, though. Kid just rages for a while. Then an old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around him. Must have fled here from the mines. It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view. He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. The security takes him for a petty thief. Roddy always wanted his ashes scattered here. Special delivery, gas fellas. Windbags start turning up for last call. Start coming out of the woodwork. Big old fella pops out in front of the kid. way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back. The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner. Wasn't long before the kid could loose an arrow, strong and true. Finds the distillery right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. Some of them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins. Maud, the tutor, once taught the kid good manners. He never used them, though. An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Puts him out of his misery. Robs a scumbag of his last meal. He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. Somersaulting like crazy. At last, the skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right, except no one else showed up. Ain't always much to say. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Party punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets in the fewest shots. He's focused. He's armed, and he's off. Kid ain't had enough of the breakers' barracks. Takes practice, and a mighty strong bow helps too. He returns with some of the materials we need. Sometimes a single look says it all. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the scored steps. Won't be no field trip this time. Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw. Keeps telling himself he better watch his step. They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed. Squirts don't make the best of friends, but they can be useful in a pinch. No sign of the core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble. Them squirts just don't know when to quit. Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. Gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments of his. With a good length of Miska, that bow's like new again. Kid packs a special surprise in every one of those arrows. Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again. Never much cared for that big wide grin of his. And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. Blustery old foreman is keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. The windbags used to be alright. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. Fetching fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. I almost don't believe it when he says he passed the Breaker's challenge. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stab weeds. broken heart. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. Throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Every squire's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard it pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad. There's a kid buying some spices from the motherland. Tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. Troublesome scene to be sure. A few moments left and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7. Give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Celandia. It was good living here for a while. Kids' lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting. Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand. Windbag Ranch was built for gathering squirt extract in copious supply. Ain't nothing more healthful. Some folks showed up to make a fast buck with nothing but a knife. Other folks came to train me with throwing arms. Still others used the place to test their finest blades. Always time for juice and squirts, they used to say. At least the little fellas can't feel a thing. Some squirts try to flee on instinct. Best to put them away first before they rile up the others. Place gets awful slick sometimes. Slippery little devils. Cute cuts all of them down soon enough. The ranch was always looking for good help. There's always more squirts to go around. Well, the kid's gone and struck terror in the hearts of squirts everywhere. The little Zolwood oil and that blade shines like a light. Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lightest step. The single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Kid thinks twice about risking his hide for him. Well, the path ain't exactly open to visitors no more. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd use to search the stars. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we could do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So we didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. We could always see the stars, we just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. machete, every bit as effective as the fancier stuff. The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. You don't much care to see him, not like this. These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kind of wife. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder Brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nor did the Bird Boy. Didn't make it. The Jawsons. They didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr. They didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? Kid does what he has to do. What do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Ceylondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind, both to him and to each other, for the first time. For Zolf, Ceylondia was like his second home. He's real worried about his first home, too, far to the east. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. He was born in the Tazzle terminals. The Uras sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. Kid ain't finished here yet. The cores, you remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. No place better than Trapper's Shingle for learning to tread light and shoot straight. Trappers had to tread real careful here, else take a nasty fall. They train themselves by clearing out the targets while not clearing out the floor. Any good trapper knows never to take a step till the time is right. Trappers got something extra to give him an edge. Kid decides to keep working his aim and footwork on the shingle. Best time to pick a new spot was when swapping magazines. To think a rickety place like the Shingle survived, and so little else did. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. The trappers would have been impressed with how the kid handled the shingle. No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Kid says a little prayer anyway. Couldn't hurt, right? Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the orchard core is long gone too. The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being a decoration. Pith makes a decent scarecrow, at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Punching through his hide. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods, or tell them off? Don't need favors from the likes of Pith. Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. The gods involved. If Kid tampered with that shrine. Kid ain't found a core, at least he found Zolf's precious shrine. Pith orchard, places a dead end in more ways than one. Now we can build a shrine of our own, Though I got some alternatives in mind. Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. There's only one way to Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. Calamity was mercy, folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid. Windbags, young and old, keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through their greasy hides. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent Calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days. But the kid sure can. Cinderbrick gave him enough heat and metal to munch on for a while, but the fort ain't theirs by right. Not a scratch on him as he presses on to higher ground. Blasting everything in sight with that newfangled musket. Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Afraid to get burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the force parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Blandon and all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. Takes down Glutus, or maybe it was Blandon. The uncles go out with a whimper. The windbags finally get the message. Kid shows up just as Zolf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zolf was his smoking pipe. Can't be too careful these days. Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Poor kid collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. Catches up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. His mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. What was I saying? Anyway. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found neither. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Caelondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Kid learn to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back. Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. his vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all he got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Wait, where was I? Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. Behold the Pantheon. Finders keepers. Points just don't get any sharper than that. The accused always got a fair shake in Ceylon. Some used to take the bullhead trial. Survive the trial without taking a scratch, you'd walk away a free man. The bullhead trial taught folks three things. First, a good defense is a good offense. Second, court is back in session for the kid. Old ritual for when folks believed there was this godlike bull watching over them. Had to make do with nothing but a shield. Step aside and let things go. The kid pulls through in fine form. Well, the kid always wanted to compete in the bullhead trial. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. Weeping Nellie. She'll send some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. Security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbreak. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. Takes a hard hit, but he ain't finished. At least she picked a good spot for a break, 'cause the core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. They've been watching his every move. They have their own eyes on the core. But why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them pickers. Crafty things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skips keep on coming starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. The windbags get an even better idea. They aim to smash with the young splinters. They don't know the kid's just trying to help. Or maybe they don't care. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. She's just gotta make one last stop. With her last breath, Nellie gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in Picker country. Seems the calamity ain't hurt the Pickers' appetites. They want that core real bad. Might be they want it just as bad as a kid. choose them off, knowing they'll be back. Know how many times kid nearly fell off the barge back there? A good couple of times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? Yeah, that's the one.
I dig my hole.
explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
Come build that wall up to the sky.
They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow her again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Ceylondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either. Cinder brick stout sure goes down smooth, then stays in your gut like a rock. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. Kid's ready to get real personal with hammer and musket in hand. Finders keepers. The marshals learn to pack those shells full of fire. Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that. The memorial. Here, kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. We track the final core beyond the city to the wilds. The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the Calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it. touch those things. Pekka's got the core, like they're building a bastion of their own. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon. They shouldn't have let their guard down. Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight. Wallflowers survived the calamity. It toughened him up. Let's take it real slow. Incursions are afoot. Klinger Jawson's old outpost is all that's left of him. Don't ever turn your back on a pincushion. A handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Kids roused up half the wilds by now. Then kid gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. Hit him anywhere but the hindquarters and he only make him mad. The calamity must have scrambled their eggs. Hardly any signs of the old Jawson camp. Wild green vine apples about the only good thing out here. Leave it to the kid to make time for stomping swamp weeds. Sees a smooth black stone coughed up by the calamity. He's seeing plenty more. The wilds already reclaimed this place. He's anxious to get back. After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot. Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says, but I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument until I tried to stop him. Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. Now he can shoot that fang repeater all day long. The Masons, we built the city strong. Now there's only 2 of us. Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got. Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put it back together. The shards. We're gonna need all of them to nurse the Bastion back to health. The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back. After Zolf's little episode, Kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad, but the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine. Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating. Don't know where he's gone. Might be gone for good for all I know. Wherever he is, it's somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go. Dead welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him good. Better survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella. What do you say to a kid who's seen too much? I'm Zolf of Ura. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now the kid sees something stranger still. Did anybody else survive? Peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, pineapples, swamp weeds, aggregators. Sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes. simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend. His friend, he's come undone too. He sees what's left undone. Thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to. The shard ain't lost either, not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole. Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. Ever heard of the lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say. The breath on that thing, like a scumbag sprung a leak. They say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Prunes it down to size somehow. Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it. A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers.